you can't see my hands because the picture's too narrow. I was doing this out here. I was doing it out here. You can't see it, but son of a gun. This old man is actually seeing a change in the Maple Leaf status. They're climbing up the standings, and the climb is very steep. I have to say, I think we agree that the steepness of the climb has to do with how many teams they had to crawl over. Well, they've crawled over they were at the bottom of the standings, and now they're but two teams in the way, actually three, because you got to count the one that's in the playoffs. They're three teams away from being in the playoffs when they were the last team, the worst team, the team least chance to make it. They've done that, Aaron. Congratulations. I know as a Leaf fan, that is very relieving for you.
They're 5-3-2. They've had points in their past 7 games. They're currently 11th in the conference, and wonder of wonders, they've managed to climb up to 17th in the league. There are 10 points that separate the last place team from the first place team in the Atlantic Division, and the team that's in last is 6-3-1 in their last 10 with 45 points. And Tampa Bay is just running away with it at 8-2-0 in their last 10 with 55 points. This is, I think, the tightest division in the league. The Metropolitan, both have no team under 500, which is absolutely stunning to me. That is mind-boggling.
A different way to say the same thing, Aaron, is that in the Western Division, it's top heavy and bottom heavy. Whereas with the Eastern Division, it's middle of the road for everybody.
Everybody's stuck in the middle. It's just painful.
Let's talk about Matthews and how he had a good night against the Panthers.
He's been consistently having good nights. From hearing from a lot of folk that he's washed and that he's done and that there's too many injuries and it's only a short career. Matthew Nyes scored a goal. Then he set up Austin Matthews. Easton Cowan scored. Carter Verhaeghe broke Joseph Wall's shutout bid with 8:22 remaining, but we don't talk about the fact that the Leafs let him go. The Leafs actually managed to score late in the first period and then early in the second, scoring 2 goals in under a minute and 40, which is something they haven't done in a long time, separated by an 18-minute intermission break. Matthews has had 7 goals and 11 points in 5 games since the 3-day Christmas break. He got foiled by Bobrovsky on an early game power play breakaway, but at the end of the day, Joseph Woll stood on his head. The Leafs were outshot 32-23. Brandon Carlo came back and looked absolutely fantastic. Brad Marchand didn't play in the third period after getting absolutely hammered in the second period there. Clean hit. I think if Brad had not jumped, he might have been better for it.
Because he had one of those grazing hits knee to knee that can cause it. It's when you're almost hit.
And here's the thing. Brad had to jump up in order to get hit in the knee. Had he not jumped, he would have been hit mid-thigh. It would have been just fine.
Well, you know what? It is what it is. The Leafs played well, and they're playing like a team. And this may sound counterintuitive, but they're playing like a team without a superstar, because Matthews himself is working towards the net. He's doing the things that ordinary players do to score. Going to the net, taking a big chance on getting hit. But his talent also shows at the same time when he gets that opportunity for the pass and just drills it past the goaltender. And earlier in the season, those were going wide, high, and not near the net.
Yeah, and you know what though? It's been a comforting thing to know that they're getting more balanced scoring now than they are relying on the big three. So that's a bit of a relief, especially because Tavares has cooled off as much as he has. And the fact that Matthews has been a little bit spotty and Nylander's out of the lineup, the fact that it's more evenly distributed scoring is definitely a welcome sign.
And the dependence is on every player. See, that's the thing, is that they're not waiting for anybody else to do the job. All of them have to do the job. And what I really enjoyed about the game, and I think was the most crucial thing to make success out of that game, that is the quick passing. Defenseman quickly passes the puck to the forward inside the blue line, and he quickly puts it out. Doesn't matter if there's somebody there or not. Just put it out. Get it out of the zone. With Florida, you don't want them to cycle in your zone. That's the strength, right? So get the puck out of the zone, make them work their way in it. Or give yourself an opportunity like Matthews had, which was a breakaway, that kind of stuff. And then Nye's 1-on-2 is like 2-on-1. He's just amazing how strong he is and how intelligently he works with the puck. And the goal that Matthews got on his pad, that no look, threw a bunch of skates and sticks, and 2 Matthews and in the back of the net it went.
Yeah, it's been really a lot more fun to watch recently than it has in a while. It's still not the most exciting hockey, but at least they've been consistent these past few games.
But the thing about being a team like Toronto that has an audience built in, for the most part, they've struggled. The seats aren't all sold. But the point I'm trying to make is you don't have to play to entertain. Being a Leaf team, you have to play to win. And they'll give you the latitude to play boring hockey if you win. They don't have to sell tickets. Well, okay, they do right now because not everybody wants to buy tickets and there are a few unsold tickets. But you get my point.
100%.
All right, let's go to the second period and let's talk about the Jays. And Okamoto is now a Blue Jay.
Yeah, this was a big get. It wasn't anything I don't think anybody saw coming. But Kazuma Okamoto is now going to be used as a utility guy. Here's the funny part. He had a little bit of help from his daughter figuring out which team he should go to. Turns out he laid all 30 logos out in front of his baby daughter and said, which one do you like the most? And she picked the Blue Jays one. And that's, funnily enough, where he ended up signing. 4 years, $60 million US. After 11 years in Japan at the age of 29, he led the Nippon Professional Baseball League in home runs on 3 different occasions. He provides a little bit of pop to a lineup that was middle of the road in home runs last season, but excellent contact. They led the major leagues in batting average with 265 and on-base percentage with 333.
But
so having a guy like Okamoto who hit 327 last year with 15 homers and 49 ribbies in just 69 games is a nice little bit of punch to add.
Now he does. He is challenged injury-wise, but they're gambling on the fact that he's healthy and that he can stay healthy. And those numbers, 60 games. It's basically very close to 1/3 of the season. Those statistics stand in 1/3 of the season. So good for him. Good for the Jays. They made the Jays generated in that playoff run, and this number boggles my mind, Aaron. They generated just in that playoff run $100 million. And they're reinvesting it because they like what happened. They like the excitement that they brought to Toronto. And they know that if you succeed in Toronto, there's money to be made.
100%. And I'm glad to see that they're doing this. So
and good for them. All right, let's go to the NBA and let's talk about Murray Boyle. 17 points.
Yeah, he's a rookie. He scored 17. He had 7 rebounds and 7 assists for the Raptors, who are now 22-15. He was replacing Jakob Poeltl, who again has a back strain. Darko Rakojevic confirmed before the game that he'd been cleared for contact, but hasn't been cleared for play. Scotty Barnes finished with 18 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds as the Raptors beat the Hawks for the second straight game. Toronto beat them 134-117 on Saturday. So we're looking at a combined 35 points over the 2 games that the Raptors have beaten the Hawks by, which is kind of awesome when you think about it. Trae Young missed another game. He's recovering from a right quadriceps contusion, so that definitely helped. The Raptors were outscoring the Hawks 64-44 in the paint, and Toronto shot 47 for 90 from the field. Up next, the Raptors are going to be playing the Hornets tonight. The Hawks are going to be hosting New Orleans.
Absolutely. Tennis Canada.
So Gabriel Diallo was eliminated, unfortunately, from the second round of the Hong Kong Open on Wednesday. He was upset 1-6, 7-5, 7-5 by local wildcard Coleman Wong. He was seeded sixth at the ATP 250 event. He won 81% of first serve points and didn't face break point while breaking Wong twice in a dominant first set. But Wong recovered and outperformed Diallo 2-1 in each of the next two sets. Diallo opened the tournament with a 6-4, 7-6 win over Jesper de Jong of the Netherlands on Tuesday, but unfortunately, that's all for him. Now he's done.
Absolutely. Let's go to the Lions in the Canadian Football League.
So Robert Carter Jr. has
no.
Yeah, so he's going to get a chance to fail out in the NFL before coming back with his tail between his legs, just like
Aaron, don't be so cruel.
Did.
I hate when you're accurate and cool.
You know, I mean, he was in 18 games in 2025. He had 5 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 defensive touchdown for the Lions. But, you know, it's one of those things where success in the
CFL. And he had that interception, that beautiful interception.
Oh, between BC and the Ticats?
Yeah. What a play. What a play. One of the best. Sean White gets signed as well for the Lions.
Yep, they've signed him to a 1-year extension. He had an 88.8% accuracy rating for last year. He was good on 557 of 627 attempts across 241 regular season games. He has 2,282 career points and 557 field goals, 9th on the CFL's all-time list. They need a dependable leg like that, so I'm glad to see that he's coming back with them for at least another year.
Absolutely. The Stamps lost 4 players to the NFL. Now, again, you're lying about they come back crawling with their tails between their legs. It might happen. I don't think so. But anyway, they're gone. But there's other news with the Stamps. They signed a defensive back because they got some openings.
Yeah. They've actually signed Josh Proctor. Proctor played 3 preseason games for the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars in 24 before signing with the UFL DC Defenders back in 2025. He had 16 tackles and 1 interception for the Defenders during the 2025 season. Used to be with Ohio State. He accumulated 112 career tackles there, including 6.5 tackles for loss, and also had a sack and 3 interceptions during a pick 6 in the 2023 game against Maryland. So defensive skills definitely there. Going to be interesting to see how he fits into the Stampeders line.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Bombers. They signed Evan Holm.
Yeah, so they've agreed to a 2-year extension with defensive back Evan Holm. He was scheduled to become a free agent in just a couple of weeks. He's back in 2026 for his 5th year with the Blue Bombers and following a 2025 season that was the best in his Canadian Football League career. He was named to the All-CFL team in 2025 and was also saluted as the Blue Bombers' most outstanding defensive player after finishing with 55 tackles, 6 more on special teams, 2 forced fumbles, and a team-high 4 interceptions. So definitely one of the guys that they wanted to bring back, especially if they're looking to get back into the playoffs.
Let's talk about the NHL and our Canadian teams, and let's go with the Montreal Canadiens. Hudson gets his first overtime goal.
Yeah, in a career that's been pretty awesome so far, especially for a rookie. Lane Hudson scored 3:40 into overtime as the Habs beat the Stars 4-3 on Sunday night. It was the 13th career goal and first in overtime for Hudson. Brendan Gallagher, Oliver Kapanen, and Juraj Slafkovsky also scored for the Canadiens, who went 4-1-2 in 7 consecutive road games, 5 alone since the NHL's Christmas break. They split a back-to-back after losing 2-0 at St. Louis on Saturday. Montembeau had 24 saves. He got his 2nd straight win since being recalled from the minors. Wyatt Johnson had 2 goals, and Maverick Bourque scored for the Stars, who've now lost 5 straight games for the first time this season.
Let's talk about the Detroit Red Wings. They defeat the Sens 5-3.
Now, the Sens have been having a good go of it lately, but JVR had a goal and 2 assists to lead the Detroit Red Wings to a 5-3 win over the Sens on Monday night. Coming off back-to-back losses to the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Red Wings are determined to take defeat from their divisional rivals in the first of 4 meetings between the two clubs. Kopp, Larkin, Raymond, and Rasmussen also scored, while Gibby stopped 35 shots. Brady Tkachuk, Claude Giroux, and Dylan Cousins scored for the Sens. With a pair of assists, Tim Stutzla has now extended his point streak to 13 games with 8 goals and 13 assists.
Ullmark returns hopefully soon because the Sens goaltending is suffering without him. They don't have a backup, a legit backup.
Yeah, he left the team for personal reasons back on December 27th, but he was in the arena for the game. There were some pictures of him sitting up in the 400 level. Now, the Senators wouldn't confirm a report by Locked On Sens that Ullmark was on the ice on Tuesday morning skating. But Steve Stais did say that Ullmark will be receiving all the time and support he needs from the organization before coming back.
Absolutely. Surgeon Kraken score 4 in the third to burn the Flames 5-1.
It's been a bit of a difficult stretch for the Flames. They haven't been having a lot of success. They've been experiencing a lot of, I find, collapses, which is a little bit concerning, especially as we're getting past the halfway mark here, heading towards the Olympic break. Shane Wright got the go-ahead goal, and Philip Grubauer made 41 saves to lead the Kraken to a 5-1 victory. Jacob Melanson, Vince Dunn, Freddie Gaudreau, and Matty Beniers also scored for Seattle, who have now had points in 8 straight overall and have reeled off 5 consecutive wins so far. Klapka scored the sole goal for Calgary, who lost their second straight game. With the win, Grubauer is now 8-3-1, and Wolf falls to 14-16-2 after signing that rather large deal at the start of this season. That seems to be a bit of a problem for him.
The Jets losing streak continues. It hits 10.
Yeah, and it happened against Vegas.
Ooh, and Marner had an assist on the overtime goal.
But
I'm just saying.
They gave up 2-0 and 3-2 leads. Yeah.
At least it wasn't 4-1.
Thank goodness for that. Hey, did you hear about the new?
That was a Leaf reference.
One of the betting sites, by the way, will pay out once a team that you're betting on reaches.
Yeah, is it ahead by 3-0? Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I bet on the Leafs and they happen to be up 3-1 or 4-1, then I'm getting paid no matter what. So
there you go. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's talk about the surging Kraken.
We did cover them off because they got 4 in the third to burn the Flames 5-1. They have been enjoying a little bit more of a success, and Grubauer's had a little bit of a renaissance this year, so I'm glad to see that.
Let's talk about McDavid.
McDavid had a hat trick. The Oilers beat the Preds 6-2. He had 1 on a penalty shot, 2 other goals. Leon Draisaitl had a goal and 2 assists. Kasperi Kapanen, he of Maple Leafs fame, had a goal and an assist, and Curtis Lazar also scored for the Oilers, who managed to snap a 2-game losing skid. Edmonton did a good job keeping Stamkos off the score sheet. Stamkos looked a little listless to start the season with just 5 points in his first 22. He's come back, however, with 14 goals and 23 points in his last 19 games, which is absolutely awesome, including 6 goals in the last 8 games that he's played, but they managed to shut him down pretty effectively.
Tuck has a goal and assist to lead the surging Sabres.
Yeah, after having their 10-game win streak snapped by Columbus, Alex Tuck had a goal and an assist, and the Sabres held on to beat the Canucks 5-3 on Tuesday for their 11th win in 12 games. Tage Thompson, Ryan McLeod, Zach Metza, and Josh Doan also scored for Buffalo. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen stopped 32 shots. DeBrusk, Pettersson, and Olgren all scored in the third period, and Brock Besser had 2 assists for the Canucks, but they've now lost 4 straight and 6 of their last 7, which is a little bit concerning.
A little bit. So Maple Leafs on their way, marching up the leaderboard. The Raptors have won, I think it's they've won a lot of games. They're playing really well. Canadian teams in pro sports are doing awesome. The amateurs are also doing well. And Canadians in the basketball, the NBA and in hardcourt are doing a great job too. So here's to Canada. Even though they lost in the World Juniors. We didn't.
You know what? I just got to say, I am really glad they actually showed up for the bronze medal game. Canada has had a history in the past of a gold or nothing mentality.
Ooh,
and
they didn't do the whiny little,
No, No, and I'm grateful to see that. It could potentially mark a shift in the culture from not showing up to bronze medal games and getting
and
embarrassed.
respecting what it takes to win the gold medal, because I think that was really the reason they didn't win it. They didn't respect the gold medal as much as they should have. They kind of thought because of what happened in the semi that, this is a piece of cake. Well, guess what? Work
Different game,
matters.
different team. Yep.
Work matters. Aaron, thanks for doing this, buddy, and I apologize for being a few minutes late. To the rest of you, thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week. Oh, sorry, we'll see you Friday.
We'll see you Friday.
Yeah, there's still Friday. Thanks. Yep. All the fun in the world, guys.